Moving on, 3-6 matchup in the Eastern Conference. The New York Knicks and the Atlanta Hawks. Now, this is a series, similar to the Cavs-Raptors one, but we did not think that this is what we were going to be seeing. Of course, the wild finish to the regular season has us with these matchups, but New York taking on Atlanta. New York, kind of a similar year to the Cavs, but they've just been a little more healthy, and a better defensive team. But third seed in the East, 53-29. Meanwhile, the Atlanta Hawks, they're 46-36 as the sixth seed. But you see there, 20-6 post All-Star break have been one of the hottest teams in the entire NBA since the Trae Young trade and acquiring Jonathan Kuminga at the trade deadline. And, of course, C.J. McCollum, the emergence of Nickeil Alexander-Walker and Jalen Johnson, big for them as well. Ben, where do you want to start with this Knicks-Hawks series?
Yeah, this should be a fun series. Trae Young, no going back to MSG in this one. Hawks, I would have fought before the year if they made the playoffs. Would have had Trae Young for something like this, but it's different now. But it's great for the Hawks that they're having it work, and I actually have Nickeil Alexander-Walker to be as an X factor for this game. I know he's a guy who could probably win most improved player. He's really has stepped up and been great this year, but I'm wondering how, his evolution on offense could translate to the postseason here against the tough Knicks team. And if Nickeil Alexander-Walker could somehow go off and have some big offensive games, and other guys in the Hawks are able to step up and play well, they could make this quite a tough series that could go down to the wire 6 or 7. But Alexander Walker is struggling more. The Hawks somehow are, struggling more to generate offense against the Knicks, and the Knicks are finding ways to stop them. And this could be trouble. Shorter series for the Hawks. So, yeah.
Joey, what are you seeing with this series that you're going to pay attention to?
Completely forgot about that, Ben, when you said I am kind of going to miss Trae Young and MSG. That is going to be kind of sad. But I'll be honest, this is a really intriguing matchup to me. If I would have to, the Hawks, their game plan this whole second half of the year, they should just keep with that because they are a fun team. They are a really good team. Defensively, offensively, they can get it going. They have a lot of guys that can get it going. So they need to use that momentum and keep it rolling. New York, I'm really intrigued on how I'm going to see the lineup and who's going to contribute and not. Because they have a better bench this year than in years past. So I'm intrigued to see how they're going to use it. But I really need to see someone other than Jalen Brunson step up consistently throughout this series. Not just one or two games here, but every single game. And I really hope it's Karl Anthony Towns because Knicks fans have been waiting for it. NBA fans have been waiting for him to just go off this entire year, but specifically in the playoffs. That's who they need with Jalen Brunson probably going to be guarded by one of the best perimeter defenders in Dyson Daniels or even Nickeil Alexander-Walker, who's a fantastic defender just as well. They're going to need Cat to step up, regardless if it's also Mikal Bridges, who I know I've been critical of as well. He needs to step up consistently. OG Anunoby's he is fantastic, but he's also going to need to be a consistent offensive threat this series. And if they do that, New York really shouldn't have a problem because they have all those guys that can do it. They just need to do it because Jalen Brunson is going to do Jalen Brunson things, but he is going to have his hands full and be dead dog tired by the time it hits the third or even the fourth quarter, of just trying to carry and do everything with those guys guarding him.
Yeah, this series is very intriguing. Love what you guys have mentioned about both sides here. There are definitely a lot of players that are going to need to step up because I do believe that both teams here have a chance to win this series. This is not going to be easy whatsoever. I know Knicks fans are not happy because this is the fourth straight year of them making the playoffs where they have the toughest first-round matchup heading into the to the playoffs. I mean, going into the playoffs every year, when you look at going into the Cavs series in 2023, Sixers in 2024, and last year with the Pistons, and now the Hawks this year, they've had the most difficult first-round matchup on paper every single year, and they have it again. And this might be the toughest one they have to deal with, just because this team has been on fire, lately. But I think what this might come down to is just the experience at the end of close games. When you look at Atlanta with Jalen Johnson being their number one guy, this will be his first series as a number one guy, as someone that can do it all. He'll have some great games. He might have some rough games, in his, first real playoff experience here. At the end of games, is anyone on Atlanta's team going to be able to match what Jalen Brunson can provide? Because I feel regardless of, who's guarding him between Alexander Walker or Dyson Daniels, Jalen Brunson has proven that no matter who you put on him, he is so good. He's going to get his numbers and play phenomenal basketball. He's an incredible playoff basketball player. So can anyone on Atlanta match that? And for that, I look to a guy on their team that has experience in these situations in CJ McCollum, who is still a very good scorer in his own right as well. He needs to have a big series to try to help the Hawks as the adult in that room and on the floor for them to, be able to have the poise in those situations to match what the Knicks are doing. Because the Knicks are, in a similar situation to the Cavs, where they're one of the favorites coming into the season, hasn't gone, has the way they expected in the regular season. But this is the time of year they've been waiting for. They're ready to have that business-like mentality and get the job done. Atlanta needs to, try to match that as well.
Completely agree.
So, as far as our predictions for this series, think this could go either way, but we're all going with the Knickerbockers still. The three of us on the podcast have the Knicks in 6. Nick has New York winning in 7 games. So, all of us end up picking New York here. Ben, does it come down to just the overall experience and that, the Knicks have Jalen Brunson on their team leading the way?
Yeah, that was part of why I picked the Knicks. And I believe that it'll be a good series. I think the Hawks could have some good shooting nights and steal a couple games, as I'm predicting. But I just think the Knicks will be even better in the clutch. And the Knicks will get Jalen Johnson, Nikhil Alexander Walker, rattled a few times with their defense when they get intense there, and that's just enough.
Yeah, Joey?
Yeah, I agree, but it mostly does come down to experience. Like I said, it's got to be it all comes down to a lot of the superstars a lot of the times. But like in the Warriors game, all those other guys had really great games, and that's how they won that game. I trust the Knicks other guys more than I trust the Atlanta guys because they have the experience.
Yeah, and I think that's what it comes down to. I mean, game one's going to be super important. Game one in MSG is always a super tough atmosphere for the road team. We saw that last year with Detroit in their first playoff game in, a long time, and they had played great. It felt like they had weathered the storm through the first 3 quarters. Then in the fourth quarter, when it came down to it, New York went on like a 21-0 run right in the fourth quarter, and they took home that game. So I think this will be the 3rd straight first round where New York is going to win on the road in Game 6 off of a game-winning 3, because we've seen that each of the last 2 years with Josh Hart in the Philly series 2 years ago and Brunson last year. We're going to get another one in this series.
Guaranteed.
That's right. There's a bold prediction for the Knicks-Hawks series. Again, all of us picking New York. In my opinion, though, when you look at the Eastern Conference, I think this is the series that is most likely to have an upset because of how well the Hawks have been playing. But all of us end up going with the New York Knicks.
I don't know. know about that, but I agree. This is very highly upset potential.